Might be good, but it'll be boring.
It could be. I mean, you can keep yourself entertained.
That's like the
with
Garden of
good
Eden.
things.
It was all perfect and stuff. That must have been boring.
Not necessarily.
So I want to say this, but sin kind of makes life fun.
Oh, of course, you wait for it to be recording for you to say that.
I didn't know you were recording. I thought it was.
I'm recording.
Well, I didn't say that.
That was heaven, guys.
I'm the only girl in here today, so I mean,
Yeah, but they don't know that. They're just looking at
me and
me.
Talia don't sound the same
That's
though.
crazy you said it for sin makes things interesting.
It does. You can't tell me I'm wrong. Because in the Garden of Eden, they were
So do
walking
you think
around
heaven?
naked.
Wait,
and I know,
time
like-
out. Do you think heaven's gonna be boring?
No. Well, okay, I hope I'm not.
Is
Hey,
it like
hey,
some
hey,
giant
okay.
church ceremony?
Wait.
You just gotta sit in a pew.
Well, okay, let's move to the back. Actually, I kind of do. I was thinking this about Miss song yesterday. I kind of do think it'll be boring, but because okay, I don't know if we're gonna be like humans or whatever, but we're gonna be like souls floating or whatever, and just seeing all our dead loved ones and just praising God 25/8.
Yeah, you-
Sounds kind of boring to me.
Joy, what's your joy, like, eternal?
Does heaven
joy
have a
you
different
got?
week?
Hmm?
You said 25/8.
Yes, because time in
25
heaven is
hours
different.
in an 8-day week.
Yes, because time in heaven is different.
Okay.
Yes.
I just wanted to confirm on that.
Yes, time in heaven I think is gonna be different.
Okay. All right. So the idea, though, behind insurance is you don't really want to collect, because anytime you collect, that means something bad has happened, right? So what are the different types of insurance that y'all heard about?
Medical.
Health.
Car.
House.
Okay. Auto.
Renters insurance.
Okay. Home.
Life.
Life. Those are the big four. And those are the big four that we're talking about. All right. There's also disability insurance. All right. Y'all have seen the duck commercials? Aflac.
Aflac is that?
The duck commercials. They do disability. Kind of. If you get injured, like you've heard the commercials. If you get injured and you can't work, they help pay the bills. Right? It's part of this disability insurance. We're not really going to cover that though. Okay? So health, auto, home or renters, and life. When you need your health insurance, what has happened to you?
Somebody got it.
For what? When you need your health insurance, when you use your health insurance, what has happened to you?
Had a
Oh,
medical
leg.
emergency or
Yeah,
something?
never mind, sorry.
You have a medical issue, right? So this is medical bills. Oh, I'm gonna go issue. Medical issue. Does anyone want to have a medical issue?
No.
No. Okay. Auto insurance. When does that come into play?
Wreck.
Whenever you get into a car wreck or your car is damaged. Okay. Have any of y'all been into a wreck? Been in a wreck?
No.
Okay. It's not fun, is it? You're on your way, going from point A to point B, you have a plan, and then a wreck, you have to spend, hopefully the guy doesn't run off, right? Hit or run. But you have to take time out of your day then to deal with the wreck. It's not fun. Okay? And depending on how bad it is, you may not have a car. Right? You've got to wait. Home and renters, when do you use that?
Fire, lightning.
When your home is damaged. Okay? I might call it the dwelling is damaged. Because renters may not be your home, right? But if your apartment is damaged and your stuff is damaged, you're gonna get it. Dwelling, or let me go property also. Okay. And then when does life insurance pay out?
When someone dies.
You did.
Someone dies. Okay. Now let's assume that all of y'all have every single one of these insurance. Okay? Everyone has these insurance policies.
Thank you, Bernie Sanders.
Why?
health insurance.
You already have, I mean,
Oh,
in this
okay.
country, we already have a form of universal health insurance. It's called emergency room care.
Okay.
If you're injured and you don't have insurance, you go to the emergency room. Do they check to see if you have insurance first before they treat you? No, they treat you.
Bernie Sanders, you lied to me.
And then they try to see if you can pay. And if you can't pay, what does the hospital do?
You work
Does it
service
bill you?
hours in the hospital?
Nope, you don't work service hours. What?
They bill you?
They do, but if you can't pay, you're not gonna get those bills, or you're not gonna pay those bills.
I have no idea.
You go to jail?
Nope, we don't have debtor's prison. They essentially write it off as charity care, or they bill the taxpayer.
Oh.
Because a lot of the emergency rooms operate as county hospitals. Ben Taub?
I was like, my dad, he works in Top, but they take in like homeless people, like they can't.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You treat homeless people. Homeless people can't pay for medical
They're
care.
required to take in anybody.
It is law that and it's one of those rules that as a society, we have decided that, hey, even if you can't pay, we're going to save your life. We don't want your life to be based on whether you can pay. Okay? And that's a rule that we've set as a society, and so we have to live under the confines of that rule. Now, and then the Ben Taub, they'll write it off as charity care. They'll bill the county because a lot of these hospitals are county or like operate as county hospitals. So the taxpayer pays for the cost of treating the homeless people, even though there's no, like, they don't have insurance. So we're all paying for it. Anyway, all right, the difference is we go into emergency room care is really expensive. And so we pay for their health care paying top dollar for it. But that's not where my question was going. Okay? Let's say every single one of y'all has a policy for each of these insurance companies. Something happens, who gets paid? Okay, so who's getting the money? With health insurance, something happens, who does health insurance pay?
Ourselves.
You. Okay? Auto, car damage, who does car insurance pay?
Your car.
You. Yeah, you benefit. Okay? We call the person who benefits here the beneficiary. Pretty easy to remember, right? If you're the beneficiary, you're going to get the money when the insurance policy comes. Okay? Home and renters, something happens, who are they going to pay?
You.
You. Life insurance, who are they going to pay?
Your
Your
closest
family.
family.
Your family, right? This is the only insurance that you don't buy to protect you. Okay? You buy life insurance to protect, I'm going to go heirs. Okay? Or beneficiaries. Okay? You buy life insurance to protect people other than yourself. Okay? So let's kind of think about which type of insurances you will need when you graduate from college. Will you need health insurance when you graduate from college?
No.
Yes.
But I thought it was like 26, so you can.
But you could stay on your parents, but do you still need to have it?
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah. This one's a yes. Okay. Auto insurance.
Mm-hmm.
Yes. You will need to have it. Home and renters.
Wouldn't that be only if you have an apartment? Because if you're living on campus in a dorm, that's.
Yeah, if you're looking, but this is after college.
Oh, okay.
After college, you're on your own. Home and renters. Is it a good idea to have renters insurance?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it can be, right? So, but if you buy a home, do you need to have home insurance? Yeah. Especially if you buy with a mortgage, the bank has an interest in your home, don't they? So the bank is going to require, if you buy a home with a mortgage, take out a mortgage to buy a home, the bank is going to require that you get home insurance because they want to protect their investment too. Okay? Life insurance. Do you need life insurance?
No. No, you don't.
Yes.
Why do y'all say yes or no?
I mean, it depends on what you're doing after college.
I think you should already still get it though after college because what if like, let's say you have kids and like they
Wait. I'm just at right after college. You plan on having kids right after college. You're going into residency. You're not planning on having kids until you're in the 30s.
Probably,
no,
I'll say-
28, 29.
Okay.
I'll make
I
it.
say probably 5 years after college. I'll be okay. So,
Okay. But right after college, do you need life insurance?
You might need it. You might get killed. You don't know.
Because like it's usually the policy goes to your spouse and people
It
right after
goes-
college aren't married.
Okay. So it's
I mean-
you get life insurance if people in your life depend on your income.
I say yes. We,
Wait, if people in your life depend on your income, you need to get life insurance.
Do you support?
If you're right after college and you're single, you have no kids, you're just working, do you need life insurance?
I mean, that's not my plan necessarily to be single. Well,
Well, I mean, right after college, you're 22 years old. And I'm not talking about not dating. I'm talking about got a ring on.
I'm sorry, that's what I'm saying. Like, I plan on getting married early.
Okay.
That's my plan.
Thursday, I'm not.
Okay. Well, let's say let's go in and say, hey, you're married,
Okay.
but your wife makes more than you do. Okay.
Equality.
Trophy husband.
Love it.
Okay. Hey, what?
I mean, it's
Okay. Is it a bad thing if your wife makes more than you do?
No.
No. We're in Texas. Guess what? Half of her salary is your salary. Community property. Okay? So if your wife makes more than you do, as a certain foreign correspondent would say, that was on Amazon. Okay.
Like, no one got it.
No, it was a
I get the author's references, but I don't.
it was a Borat reference.
Oh.
He goes nice. Okay. No, but if your wife does make more than you do, it's a good thing. Okay. But let's say that happens. Do you need to take out life insurance? Probably not, because no one depends on your income. If you were to die the next day, your wife's making more than you do. Be good. Should be good, right? If you're unemployed, do you need life insurance?
No, but you need a job.
Well, that's you need a job. Don't
If
necessarily.
you're like, but if your spouse has a job, then I guess you do need life insurance.
For her,
Yeah.
right? What about if you're retired? Let's say you have worked, right? You're married, you have kids, but now you're retired.
I mean, you still have money coming in.
Huh?
Retired, right?
Where's the money coming in from?
Pension, 401k, IRA, stuff like that.
Okay,
Yada yada yada.
okay. Do you need life insurance?
Maybe.
Yes, because you might be close to dying around that age.
What are the odds that you're going to die in your lifetime?
50 out
100%.
100.
100%. It is 100% that you are going to die in your lifetime. Not 50 out of 100.
50-50, I was just about to say that.
It's 100%. All right, you're gonna die.
Yeah. Like,
Oh, you said, oh. I thought you said at any time.
No. In your lifetime,
someone believes in supernatural beings.
from
because,
birth to grave, what are the odds that you're gonna die?
100%.
100%. Okay. So you talk about older people, retired people getting life insurance. Okay. The older you get, the high. Is the likelihood that you're gonna die the next day going up or going down?
Oh.
It's going up. Every day that we spend on this earth,
Kind of scary.
Being close to our death.
we're getting closer to our death.
I'll take another day.
Happy thoughts, right? So, if you're older and you're getting closer to your death, the insurance company knows this, right? After all, they know basic biology of life and death and how that works. So if you're getting closer to your death, you think the insurance company is saying, hey, I'm going to have to pay out soon.
Wouldn't they charge like a higher rate?
That's what I'm getting to. They're going to charge you a higher rate.
Don't they also look at your like family history, like of sickness in your family and stuff like that?
They do, but after a certain point, I mean, you're still going to be charged a higher rate.
And if you like smoke and all that?
Yeah, yeah. You're still, but age, as you get older, you're going to get higher and higher rates for life insurance. So if you're retired, know that your cost of insurance is high because you're older. Does anybody require on your income? You said pensions, 401ks, IRAs. Will those stay around even after you die?
Maybe if you have money left over.
Well, I mean, like, let's say you die, you retire and you die the next day. Will your IRA still be there?
I guess,
Yeah. Will your 401k still be there? Will your pension still be there, depending on what you chose on your pension? Yeah. So people, you die, okay, when you die and you're retired, are the people that you leave behind still going to be taken care of with the other monetary options that you've built up over your lifetime? So do you need life insurance if you're retired and you're not working?
No.
No. Life insurance should only be used for people that are working and have people that depend on them. If you don't fit both of those categories, you don't need life insurance. I don't have life insurance. I don't need it. If I die tomorrow, or if I die today, no one's going to financially hurt over my passing. All right? Except my dogs. But I'll take care of them later. Okay?
So you don't have life insurance?
I don't. I don't need it. Why would I need it?
These millennials.
Who needs the income that I produce?
No one.
Only me. And if I'm no longer around, no one's gonna financially hurt them.
Well, when you find your Mrs. Greer, then you'll need it.
When I get married and have
Yeah.
kids, then I'll get it, right? But I don't need it right now, okay? So we'll get into more detail here. Which one of these do you want to talk about first? Health? You want to just like work down the list here?
Yeah, that's just easier.
Okay, I'm gonna write these off to the side so I remember which way we're going. Okay. Health, auto, home, and life. It almost spells Hava. All right, so health insurance. Where do most people get their health insurance from?
Their company?
Their company. But if they don't have health insurance, or if their company does not offer health insurance, they have to pay for it themselves, right? So let's start off with the first basic term of the cost of insurance. What is the cost of insurance? Something that you're going to pay every month or every certain period in order to fund this insurance. What do we think? Do y'all want to kind of take guesses? Want y'all to take guesses for what it is?
$200 a month.
It's a word.
Oh, that.
Starts with a P.
Can you say it again, please?
The cost of insurance. What do you pay every month or every period to have you covered for insurance? Starts with a P.
It ends with a.
E. No, M. It is your premium.
I wasn't thinking that.
Okay. So you're going to pay your premium every month. And this premium essentially goes into a, let's see if I can draw a bucket.
Mr. Bear, we need to decorate your door. Our homecoming.
Yes.
We need to decorate your door.
Okay. All right, so this is the insurance company. So with premiums, we have all these little people. Okay, and they are paying their premiums into the bucket.
Looks
Oh.
very socialist.
It absolutely is. But this is a private company, so we say, oh, it's not. Okay? But this is how all insurance works. Whether we're talking about auto insurance, home insurance, or life insurance, it all works the same way. Okay, this is the basic structure of insurance. Everybody gets pays in, okay? And let's say this person is really, really healthy, and they never have to go to the doctor. Do they ever get any of their premiums back? No. Right? They've essentially lost out on the insurance game, but they're covered, they're protected. Because what will happen is, let's say this person breaks an arm. Ouch. Let me make that more dramatic.
Ew.
Yeah. Their arm just got broke. Right? It bent the other way. They've got to go to the hospital. Okay? When they go to a hospital and they get charged, that's when the insurance company is going to pay out and cover them to protect them.
He's paying for someone else's insurance.
Everybody who pays insurance is paying for someone else's care. And hopefully, you never need it. But in case you do, the insurance will cover it. Okay. Prior to Obamacare, one of the major causes of personal bankruptcy, unpaid medical bills. Because you go to the emergency room, or let's say you have you get cancer. Is that something that anyone can control? No, right? It can happen to anybody. Anybody can get cancer. You get cancer and you go to chemotherapy for it. You're going to be faced with medical bills in like the $30,000, $50,000, maybe even $100,000 range.
Ew.
Yeah. So if you don't have health insurance and you're faced with those medical bills,
Dr. Green,
Yeah.
is on.
all right, thank you. If you don't have health insurance and you're faced with those medical bills, is it gonna kill your finances and kill your future? Absolutely. It sucks, doesn't it? Right? So, this is kind of what insurance is here to protect. A bat. Right? Just to drive home that point, let's take a look at some unpaid medical bill, please. We're doing insurance now. Why are you failing? Thank you.
Over $3 million for the cost of transplant. And I have another EOB right after it, which was another $1 million. So you're looking at a $4 million transplant. I don't know what people do without insurance.
So this woman, as we'll see, got hit with a $4 million medical bill.
How could you even do that?
We hear so much about how expensive medical bills are, we've almost become numb to it. In 2017, 1/3 of the money raised on GoFundMe went towards medical campaigns. And the site raises $650 million a year for more than 250,000 medical campaigns.
And real quick, essentially, what is GoFundMe?
You just pay into like a system.
But you're paying for who?
Another person.
Another person. Sounds socialized to me. Is it?
Yes.
I'd argue, yeah, you're paying for the benefit of someone else. Is that the definition of socialism? Or a socialist action? Yeah.
Haynes, you show me your room? Luca was born with alveolar capillary dysplasia and Hirschsprung's disease. At 3 weeks old, he had surgery to remove part of his colon. At 2 months, he went into cardiac arrest, and at 5 months, he had a lung transplant. His parents had to turn to fundraising almost immediately just to keep up with the medical bills.
They did a clamshell approach, and he has several scars from all of the other surgery.
So when did the US healthcare system go from a philanthropic program to a multi-billion-dollar industry? And where do the funds go once the bills are paid? Today, the US healthcare system is in a sort of tug of war between physicians, hospitals, pharmaceutical companies, shareholders, and insurance companies. The list goes on, but for this video, we'll just focus on these entities. Caught in the center of it all are the patients.
You're often not able to provide the type of care that you want because of the cost of care.
Those costs are now forcing a growing number of uninsured or underinsured Americans into traveling abroad for medical treatments.
Everyone started thinking of healthcare as a business where the metrics were profit, return on investment, efficiency, and those aren't the metrics of health. But
I want to pause and, so they said something just a little while ago while I was getting the door. The underinsured or uninsured. So we all know what uninsured is, right? What's uninsured?
You don't have it.
You don't have insurance. What about underinsured?
You have it, but you're not getting that much support.
Your insurance doesn't cover the full cost.
You have it, but the insurance is not covering your full cost. You're not getting enough support, right? Maybe, and this is something that was part of the insurance world prior to 2012. Okay, where insurance policies would have things like maximum payouts. So if you have a chronic illness that requires medication, and let's say the pills are costing $10,000 a month, and so insurance is covering that. If you had a policy that had a maximum lifetime payout of $100,000, then after 10 months of getting this medication that costs $10,000 per month, your insurance company will drop you. Your health insurance company would drop you. And then you're left with the option of, do I pay out of pocket the $10,000 per month for this life-saving medication, or do I try to go to Mexico or Canada or die? All right, Mexico and Canada to get cheaper drugs.
do we judge hospitals today?
You would think that they would be looking out for your chronically ill children and the, you know, all of the medications and things like parking at the hospital. No, it's not covered.
But before we get to all of this, let's rewind to understand how we got here. This chart is a pretty good place to start. The data shows healthcare spending versus life expectancy. The rest of the world pretty much stays the same course, but around 1980, the US veers off.
I like to say it's kind of the road to hell is paved in good intentions, because everything we've done was in the name of better health.
To be clear, growth in US healthcare spending has slowed over the past few years, but it's still way higher than in other wealthy countries. Before government programs like Medicare and Medicaid, Blue Cross and Blue Shield were the main providers of health insurance in the US.
How many of y'all have heard of Blue Cross and Blue Shield? Okay. They were one of the largest healthcare providers. I'm not sure if this video will go into it, so I'm going to go ahead and say it, and then if this video goes into it. Originally, when Blue Cross and Blue Shield started off, they were a non-profit company. Okay, so they didn't have shareholders, they didn't have executives that were getting paid a lot. It was non-profit. Essentially, all the money that, let's say we were all Blue Cross Blue Shield, and I'm Blue Cross Blue Shield, all the money that y'all pay in as premiums is going into kind of like a piggy bank that if Heaven gets injured, gets into a car wreck in one of her 3 cars, and then this, out of this piggy bank, her medical bills would be covered. Okay, but it's all kind of locked in place, and I would get a reasonable salary for managing it, but it wouldn't be extravagant. Okay. Later on, though, Blue Cross Blue Shield moved from being a private nonprofit to being a for-profit insurance company. And it's at that point that all of a sudden I'm the executive and I'm taking out a bigger check to send out to my shareholders because they want to see more profits. Which every time I take money out of here, does that leave more or less money for y'all? It leaves less for the insurance, for the beneficiaries. And so in order to cover the higher medical costs, what do I have to do to your premiums?
Raise them.
I've got to raise them. Or I have to lower the amount of care that I'm going to give you. Coverages that I'm going to give you.
At the time, they were nonprofits and accepted everyone who wanted to sign up. But at this point, it wasn't to control costs. It was really insurance in a worst-case scenario. And after World War II, employers started offering health insurance. Suddenly, demand was booming. From 1940 to 1955, Americans with health insurance went from 10% to more than 60%. That demand created a business opportunity, and for-profit companies started rolling in.
Insurance was the first sector because it's in some ways the original sin in the sense of it separated the consumer from payment, right? So it felt like nobody was paying.
By 1950,
and the problem with feeling like no one's paying, what happens to the costs?
Goes higher.
They go higher. Because if you, the consumer of health care, feel like no one is paying for these healthcare costs, do you really care do you pay attention to what procedures you're signing up for? No.
Aetna and Cigna were major players in the for-profit health insurance market. And in 1965, President Johnson established Medicare and Medicaid.
This medical insurance for those over 65 will become effective July 1st.
Why do you think we had to have a public option for those over 65? If you're over 65 years old,
Not working.
okay, you're not working. That's true.
You're more likely to like fall downstairs or something, or if you're old.
You're more likely to have medical expenses, right? I saw a statistic when I was back in school. It said something to the effect of 80% of all the money that we're going to spend on healthcare in our entire lives is spent in the last 10 years of our life. So out of the last 10 years of our life, we're going to spend 80% of all the money that we're going to use. Now, if that was left up to the private insurance market, if you were all insurance companies, who's going to want to sign up a 65-year-old person? Okay, what would that mean if you signed up a 65-year-old person? Are they going to be paying more into your system, or are they going to be taking out more?
Oh, no, I was taking out more.
They're going to be taking out more. So are you going to want to sign them up?
No.
No. Especially if you're for profit, do you want more people paying in or more people that you're having to pay out? Paying in. Especially if you're for profit. Okay. So if you have people that have, if you have people that are smokers, are you going to want to have them on your insurance plan? No. If this was just pure market, you're making the decisions for your firm. There are no laws that you have to. If you have someone who has a high risk of colon cancer, are you going to want to have them on your health insurance plan? No. Right? What about diabetes? Lupus? No. If someone comes to you with a pre-existing condition, I know that word is thrown out a lot, but these are essentially what they are. Someone comes to you with pre-existing conditions. Do you necessarily want them on your health insurance plan? Because what's that going to do to your costs? Your costs are going to go up. Okay. And pre-2012, something that qualified in some cases or that some companies used as a pre-existing condition were if you were a woman. Because what health costs are women going to face that men are not going to face?
Having a baby.
Having a baby. How expensive is it to have a baby in the U.S.?
Very.
Yeah, it's pretty expensive.
You know what the most expensive state is?
California.
Alaska.
I don't
You know how much it costs on average to have a baby without insurance in Alaska? $30,000.
But no one even lives there, really.
Well, that's
Probably why. That's why.
Yeah. Okay. But even the cheapest, and we can actually take a break. Yeah. We don't have time to watch the entire thing. Cost of having a baby. Okay, average cost without complications, $10,000. This is all without insurance, right? So $10,000 to have a baby. Okay, I want to see by state. Okay, so Alabama, without insurance, $9,000. C-section. Why do you think C-section is more expensive?
Surgery.
It's surgery. Okay. Okay. But you'll see. Okay, this was Alaska. Yeah, there's the most expensive, 20 and 28. Arizona, 14, 18,000. What is this? Arkansas, 10, 13. California, 13, 19. Colorado. Let's see Texas.
They should not.
Oh wait. There's Georgia because we have someone who wants to live in Georgia. 13,000 and 19,000. Okay. And do people necessarily have a choice when it comes to C-section versus natural? No. Right. I was a C-section baby. But yeah, it's a complication comes in, C-section or natural, right? That's a $6,000 difference that you don't have a choice in. That's expensive. Let's go to Texas.
Good old Texas.
Well, we're a large state. $14,000 or $19,000 in Texas.
It should not be that much to have a baby.
Okay. You know what the funny thing is? They who was it was William and Kate, right? That had a baby recently?
That was Meghan Markle and
Yeah, it's been the same.
Okay,
I forgot
but
his name, I don't care.
William and Kate had a baby a while ago, right?
I think so.
I don't know.
I think so.
Baby. See that one?
$1 million.
No, that was the cost to raise a child in London.
I would cry.
Luxury birth cost. This is what I was looking for. This is from Market Watch. Okay. The newest royal was born on a $8,900 a night maternity leave. Okay, so it costs a royal baby $8,900.
Still somehow cheaper than the US.
It's cheaper than the U.S. And this royal baby, they got there was champagne. That was more for
So
the.
basically what you're telling us is if we're pregnant or expecting a child, go fly over to London and have it there.
Except you can't really do that because everyone who lives in London pays into their national health
So
program.
we wouldn't be able to get.
So they're not going to extend to you, since you haven't paid into that program, they're not going to extend to you the same courtesy that
You'd have to be a citizen.
you have to be a citizen and pay in.
For how long?
Well, I think once you're a citizen, if you become a UK citizen, you get the.
But you have
the
to
benefits.
work there for a year to become a citizen, so
Yeah,
there's your time frame.
yeah. So, yeah, it costs more in Texas to have a child, even with insurance. We're close to it, right? C-section with insurance, $11,000. You're paying more than what they paid in the UK for a baby. Okay, and so insurance companies pre-2012, they would label being a woman a pre-existing condition because if you're a woman who plans on having kids, are you gonna have to pay out? Is the insurance company gonna have to pay out a lot? Yeah, so they would charge women higher health insurance premiums.
Even so, the for-profit insurance market continued to gain steam through the 70s and the 80s, capturing more and more of the health insurance market.
Okay, we'll pick up there
Keep them rolling.
tomorrow. But yeah, it's funny. Health insurance. You wanna watch a funny health insurance video?
Sure.
Let's see if I can find it real quick. It's they asked people in the UK to react to guess at how much things cost.
Olive Gun on Shinworks.
I was like, what are you doing?
The Daily Show.
Oh my god.
20-minute full-body strength coming your way.
For a baby.
Oh, there it is.
Yes. Geez, $100? $2.5 grand.
$2.
600.
250. 300 pounds. $600. $600.
Yeah. Ambulance call out. How much do you think that costs? Zero.
Okay, ambulance gets called out.
Good morning, WCS. It's Coach Charlie. Happy Wednesday, day 3 of homecoming. Our lesson today is entitled, That's Not Fair, which should be a lesson for all of us. Life isn't fair. If life was fair, we would have been born in a poor country, but we weren't. Reading is from Colossians. If someone does wrong to you, then forgive him. Forgive each other because the Lord forgave you. May he bless the reading of his word. Let's pray. Father, thank you for loving us, Lord. We're told your mercies are new every morning. Lord, we pray we give that same mercy to others. We pray we have a great day and we are a source of inspiration to others to live a good life, that we're the salt and the light of the earth today. In Jesus' holy name we pray these things. Amen. Now the announcement for the lovely Ella.
I started laughing because I heard it.
Homecoming week is underway. Check out the poster outside the upper school office for the dress-up day schedule. Currently, the points standing for homecoming are as follows. Freshmen at 450 points, seniors at 525 points, sophomores with 650 points, and juniors at 800 points. Tomorrow is Decade Day. Seniors in 8th grade are the 50s, juniors in 7th grade are the 90s, sophomores in 6th grade are the 80s, and freshmen in 5th grade are the 70s. Juniors and seniors, Jocelyn will be here tomorrow to take orders and measurements during lunch for cap and gown, announcements, class ring, and Leatherman jackets. Senior night for volleyball is tomorrow night. It will be a doubleheader versus First Baptist Academy at 6 and 5 p.m. Come celebrate our seniors. Students and teachers, just a reminder to reserve your ticket for the homecoming game this Friday night. Homecoming king and queen will be crowned at halftime. Teachers, please check attendance and dress code at this time. Have a well-dressed and a God-blessed day.
Okay, yeah, so they just asked ambulance. Okay, if you get hurt and an ambulance comes out to your place.
Because some people, don't they have like bracelets that say like, don't call an ambulance?
Yeah, for this reason. Or if an ambulance gets called out and you ride in the ambulance, how much should it cost you?
Nothing.
$0.
How much a taxi costs? A little bit
Okay,
more.
how much a taxi costs?
That's
Okay.
fair, honestly.
Well, I mean, like $50.
Yeah, that's not that bad.
Okay,
Like
depending on how far. But in the U.S., it costs us
Yes, no, because $2,500.
$2,500. Okay, so let's think about the public policy aspect of this. Okay, you're married, and if you're a woman, your water breaks. Okay, if you're the husband, your wife's water breaks.
You pass out.
Okay.
No.
Okay.
No.
So you have a choice. You have a choice. Do I call the ambulance to come and pick up my wife to take, or should I put her in the car and drive to the?
Wouldn't you drive? Yeah.
Okay.
You're better luck driving home than have cab.
Okay. You drive, right? Do you obey the speed limit?
No.
Yes.
It's
you
a
should.
human
You don't want to stop for
There's
like
a
an
human
hour.
on the way.
Okay.
There's a human
Okay.
on the way.
But it's gonna come in like what, 8 hours or something?
Not necessarily.
Please, no, why
Hey.
he's going through?
Look, okay. Let's say there's a complication.
That's not what happens in the movies.
Okay. In the movies, they have the birth in the car.
That's just that. They
Okay.
both have their child in the car.
Right, but you don't drive the speed limit, so you drive fast.
You go past the police.
Is that putting everybody else on the road at risk?
Yes, this could be the next president. This human is important. You don't know what they could be.
The next 10 months.
For real? No, not the next one.
Inhaler.
An inhaler.
$100.
Yeah, you're pretty close, a bit more.
120.
250 to 350.
Oh, that's not bad.
Yes, it is.
Per month.
Oh, per month.
Because you need to get a new inhaler every month.
Oh, they said inhale.
Inhaler.
I heard inhaler too.
I didn't
Why is it
really-
per month?
Huh? That's how long the medicine is. Depending on, it depends on how much you use it.
So they need to make a bigger one that lasts for a long
Yeah.
time. Yeah, like a really big one that lasts for a long time.
Man, so if you're poor, you're dead.
I know that it's like
Yeah.
public healthcare in the UK. In the US, fortunately, I'm able to get healthcare through my parents, their jobs, but like I carry an EpiPen, and I know that like the cost of that.
Ooh, EpiPens. How many of y'all know what EpiPens are?
Yeah.
Okay, if you're having an allergic reaction, a severe allergic reaction, you've got to stab yourself with the EpiPen, right?
It's so big.
It is a big needle. You got to stab it. Okay. It used to cost for 2 EpiPens $150.
Not bad.
Okay, for 2 EpiPens, and it's not something that you'd use every month, like, right? Okay, but the company that owns the patent on the EpiPen decided that, hey, we're a monopoly. People who need EpiPens have to buy them from us. So what should we do to the price? They raised it to $600 for 2.
And then.
Okay, so, and there's nothing they can do, like nothing we can do about it, right? That's a 400% increase.
Well, because they can't raise it anywhere else but here.
Yeah.
Rising. So like there's like very few companies that even compete, so it's sort of like a monopoly for the EpiPen. even though like we have insurance, it costs my parents about a couple hundred, even with insurance.
So 2 EpiPens, how much do you reckon they are?
$80.
600.
$40.
Afraid not.
More?
More?
$100.
More.
$150. $250.
She almost.
That's like £300. $600. What? Why?
That's a good question.
$600.
For me, it's more like just hives and shortness of breath. So it wouldn't be like an immediate death situation, but like, so I've been fortunate I've not had to use it, but it's something that keep on me, like I have my backpack right now, I have it on.
Cost of childbirth.
Jesus.
Jesus.
50 grand, something ridiculous now?
Yes, yeah, I mean, I've blown the figures up in your head now, haven't I? Because they're larger. It's the highest, generally speaking, is about 30 grand.
Okay.
Is that reasonable? You
It's
haven't?
not reasonable at all. It's just like now on like a rich one.
$100? $200?
Dollars. The average is about 10 grand. It can go up to 30,000.
10 grand! For a baby!
Yeah, well, I guess. How much is your child worth?
Yeah! What, is that like the same everywhere?
The average is about $10,000.
That's mad. Oh, no.
That's intriguing.
Okay, no thanks. In which case, the coil, IUD, contraception, how much do you think that costs?
For one person to implant $1,000?
Yeah, a little bit higher.
Really?
Yeah, $1,300.
Oh. Mental.
I wonder if you could tell me how expensive you think calling an ambulance out to your location is in America.
I guess it depends on like where you live. Really.
You laugh.
Is there a price for that?
Yes.
$100?
$2.5 grand.
For what? Why?
See, I think $100 everyone would be a little bit more reasonable with. Feel
You
as
would have to have a bracelet that says don't call an ambulance.
Yes, because that's the thing too. Let's say Talia's unconscious. We call her an ambulance. We make the decision for her. She has to pay.
She's unconscious. She probably has time, so $20.
We're not gonna, no. She's unconscious. We're gonna call her an ambulance.
So does it cost the same amount to do the airplane thing, or is that more?
Oh,
That's more.
more.
It's like-
To what?
Like
To
that
do the
helicopter-
life flight.
helicopter.
That's like, you're looking at 50,000.
Uh-oh. They gonna have to die, I guess.